Are the Houthis freedom fighters or a terrorist militia? Are they the oppressed or the oppressors? I'll talk about the complex story behind the Houthis, their narrative, and the impact of media portrayal on the conflict in Yemen. The Houthis have effectively capitalized on disseminating propaganda that aligns with views of those critical of Western interventions by portraying themselves as defenders of Yemen against external aggression. Prominent figures in the leftist and liberal spheres have inadvertently become mouthpieces for Houthis' talking points. Their influence amplifies the group's narrative and contribute to a more sympathetic view of the Houthis, even as they engage in authoritarian practices and form alliances with the regional powers like the Islamic Republic of Iran. The oversimplified narrative of the Saudi Arabia versus Houthis conflict failed in capturing Yemen's intricate internal dynamics. This oversimplification hampers efforts to address the root causes of the conflict, leading to exacerbating the suffering of the Yemeni people. Liberals, for example, believed they had a superior understanding of what was best for the people of Yemen than the Yemenis themselves. They often advocated for policies and interventions based on their perspectives, assuming that their approaches would lead to positive outcomes for Yemen, but this attitude exacerbated rather than alleviated Yemen's challenges. The egregious actions of the Houthis, including the recruitment of child soldiers, the use of landmines, the siege of cities, and the kidnapping of humanitarian aid workers, are frequently overlooked. This lack of accountability enabled Houthis to persist in their oppressive behaviors. Many Western politicians who claimed to help Yemen did nothing but indirectly serve the Houthis. Senator Chris Murphy, a liberal Democrat, once simplistically and naively framed the conflict in Yemen as the Saudis attack the Houthis and the Houthis attack back, and kept advocating for lifting the terrorism designation on the Houthis. Politicians such as Bernie Sanders, Ilhan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib, who focus on demonizing Saudi Arabia while ignoring the Houthis' crimes, contributed to a biased narrative that harmed Yemenis and consolidated the power of the Houthis. Those who advocated for normalizing the Houthi military gains in the name of peace are now silent on the Houthis' attacks on international vessels in the Red Sea. They pushed hard to stop any military advancement against the Houthis under the pretext of averting famine and civil war in Yemen. However, these calls lack genuine support for Yemen and show little respect for the bloodshed and suffering of Yemeni civilians. These politicians and activists have inadvertently empowered Houthis not only to destabilize Yemen, but also to jeopardize the regional and global economy and security.